Hey y'all, it's Sophie and I'm going to show you today how to do just like a smoky eye, bronzy smoky eye. It's what I do every single day. It's really easy and it's really pretty and it's so good for the summer because it's really bronzy stuff. Okay, so the first thing I do is now this is my tried and true. I used to always use Half Baked by Urban Decay, which is amazing, but it's expensive. So I always try and find cheap versions of expensive makeup if I can find one that works just as good so that I can replace it with that. This is a perfect dupe, like perfect dupe. It's amazing. And I've gone through like so many of these little things. It's like $7. L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadows in Eternal Sunshine. This one's messy because it's a bad out, but I have like 3 backups because I can't live without it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this all over my lid. So let me grab a brush real quick. I'm just pressing this all over my eye. So now I have the gold on both eyes and we're going to do your transition shade. So I'm taking this Morphe M44 brush. It's just like a big blender. For the transition shade, you don't want a precision tip brush. You want a big, big fluffy brush so that you can really get in there. So I'm just taking the bronzer. You want to start from the outside corner and blend just very lightly. No, I'm not doing any precision work because this is just a transition shade. You know, you're putting it in your crease, but you're going all the way over. All around. Now, what I like to do rather than just going like this is little mini circles. I think it really blends it out better. And more blending is always best. You want to blend as much as possible. Same thing on this eye. I'm going to use this. And there's a lot of bronzers in here. So when you're doing like a bronzy smoky eye, it doesn't have to be like this color, then this color, and this color. You can kind of feel it out, like what goes well together. As long as you stay in the browns, golds, bronze family, it's gonna look good. So you generally want to go from lightest to darkest gradually. So I did, the gold, and then I did the bronzer, and now I'm going to do a little bit darker brown and darker, and then you end with the darkest. You want to build up in color. So I'm going to go in with this color right here. See, it's not super dark, but it's darker than the bronzer. I'm just going to get a little bit on the brush, dust off the excess because this is so much fallout. And I'm just going to start in the corner of my eye. I'm going to keep this one a little more contained. I'm not going to go all the way in like I did with the other one. I'm just going to keep it out, go a little bit like a V pattern, but mostly in the outer crease. Now we got that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an even darker brown. Sometimes I use from the Carly Bible palette. I really like this one. If you have it, if you don't, it doesn't matter. This is just a darker shimmery brown. Today, but I also really like using this one, which I'm going to use today. This is the Estee Lauder. It's the Pure Color Envy palette. I'm just going to take a little bit on the same smaller brush, the M433. With this one, you really just want to get right in here, in the outer V. You don't want to bring it in, because we want our eyes to look big and round. We don't want them to look small. So if you keep it just in the outer one like this, that's what it accomplishes. It makes your eye look big, makes it look dimensional, but it doesn't make your eyes look tiny. So just do that. I like to put the pigment right in the corner and then blend it out. Same thing on the other eye. Bigger brush again, and just blend it a little more. Like I said, you want to keep this soft, no harsh lines. See how there's no harsh lines, it all kind of blends together? That's what you want. And like I said, I change the exact colors I use all the time. The only thing that does not ever change is this. This is the best. I wear this every single day. The bronzing shades change just depending on my mood, what I have in front of me, but they all are always in the same family. You know? So now what we're going to do now that we have that is take a mixture of these two goldy colors, just any kind of really shimmery gold. I'm just using my finger for this, and I'm just going to press it in the center towards the inner corner, and this just reestablishes the shine. See how much more dimension that gives? How much bigger it looks? So now, this is how you smoke out the eye a little bit, is you put a darker shadow underneath the eye and you blend it out. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to use this Eco Tools Pointed Concealer. I don't use it for concealer. It's just a little tip. Anything like that will work. And I'm going to take a mixture of the darker shades. Actually, I'm going to use this Estee Lauder one we used right up in that corner. Just get a little bit of that. I'm going to soften it out by mixing it with a little bit of bronzer. And just put, okay, so what you want to do is you want to bring it like it's a circle right from the crease to under the eye. And this is what makes smoky eye, smoking it out on the bottom. Next, we're going to do eyeliner. Now, I typically use brown, but I sometimes use black. Today, I'm going to use a mixture of both. They're both pencil. Neither of these are one that I'm super attached to eyeliners. I have yet to find my, like, holy grail eyeliner. I think most of them so I can do a similar job. I like NYX, I like Maybelline, Revlon, whatever. They're all pretty good. So, I'll show you what I mean. The most important thing is that I like to buff out my eyeliner to make it look softer. I think that when you have sometimes a really harsh eyeliner, it's just too much. So I'm going to take this NYX eyebrow pencil crayon in brown. You want to get right up close to the lash line. And I'm just doing small strokes. So then, once you have the line, it's not super thick, I don't like it super thick. What I do is I just soften it out by just taking a finger or brush. I most of the time use a finger because I'm usually in a rush. And I just lightly just buff it a little bit, just so that there's not a super harsh line. I don't like when eyeliner has a super harsh line, at least not for a look like this. When you're doing like the wing liner or whatever, different. When you're doing the smoky, bronzy look, I like it to be pointed out like that. So I'm just going to do the same thing on the other eye. My eyelashes are long, they're fine, but they go straight down, which sucks. And they won't hold a curl unless I do this specific process. So get an eyelash curler. It doesn't really matter what kind. This one is Tweezerman, which is a pretty good one, but just any old eyelash curler will do. Make sure there's a little cushion there, that it's nice and clean. So get you an eyelash curler. Then what you're going to do, and this is the most important step, is you're going to blow dry, take your blow dryer and blow dry this, the pad right here, blow dry it so it's heated up, and you're going to curl your eyelashes like that. The reason this works so good is because just like when you curl your hair, you use a hot curling iron. If you use just a regular cold one, it wouldn't work very well. So when you use a hot one, it curls your eyelashes super well, but it makes them last all day. And I mean all day. It's so good. You want to blow it dry till it's hot, then test it. Test it. I sometimes test it on my top lip because it's sensitive, just like your eye, to make sure it's not too hot. You don't want to burn yourself. And then you'll curl them. So I'm going to go heat it up and show you what I mean. Okay, so then you're going to go right up to your eye, and you're going to get all your lashes in there. Make sure you got them all. And you're going to press down and pump it like this. Now what you want to do is you want to immediately set them with waterproof mascara. So let me put this on, and then I'll tell you why that's important. Okay, so I just put on one coat of waterproof mascara, and you can just see how curled up they are. And they're going to stay like that because we use the blow dryer. That's really the secret, the blow dryer and the waterproof mascara. Now, this is waterproof mascara that I use first. It's Maybelline The Falsies Flared in Hydrofuge, which is waterproof, which is what's important. The reason waterproof is important is just like your hair. If you just curl it and you get it wet, it ruins your curls. It's the same thing. A water-based mascara, which normal mascaras are water-based, will flatten your curl out almost instantly, unless you have really good lashes. I don't. However, waterproof are oil-based, and the oil will hold your curl. So I really like this mascara. I also really like, I'm sorry, these are so dirty, Lash Sensational Maybelline, also in waterproof. And then I top it with another one. And now a lot of people are hesitant to use waterproof mascara because they think it's hard to take off. I find it really easy to take off with coconut oil. So I always use waterproof mascara. That's how I get my lashes the way they are. And yeah, so that was one coat. Now I'm going to put on a second coat using the Lash Sensational. The reason I like this one is because of this brush. It really unclumps your mascara. And I'll show you close up how I apply mascara. So you want to go right from the roots, and you want to wiggle it up. So then, same thing on the other eye. You want to go from the base and wiggle up. Just like that. Okay? And I always do the top lashes first. So I'm going to finish my top lashes. I'm going to top them off after I've done the waterproof. Because the waterproof is just important to set the curl. After you do the base coat, you can do normal mascara because this is now set. I really like the telescopic mascara because it really defines them. Because it's this really skinny brush. It's really good. So I'm going to finish up my top lashes and then I'll come back and we'll do the bottom ones. Okay, so for the bottom lashes, it's not as important to put waterproof because you're not trying to hold a curl. So you can use whatever mascara you want. If your eyes water like mine during allergies, you might want to do waterproof, but it's up to you. So I think that it's really important to do bottom lashes. Some people don't. I think it's very important because if you're going for the big circular eye look, it just works really, really well. So you just want to coat your bottom lashes. Okay, so I finished my lashes, and this is the final look. I just put on some of my favorite lipstick. This is Lasting Finish by Kate Lipstick, and it's Roma London. It's so pretty. It's like the perfect nude. So anyway, this is how it looks. The lashes will stay all day. And if you want a tutorial for how I do like my face makeup, base, and all that, just let me know. But I hope you like it and try it out.